Hello guys and welcome to the MSC Performance podcast. This is the new and improved setup. We have a phone recording us, we have a microphone, we have 2 cold brews and 2 laptops. So stay cheers to
Salut.
The future. So thank you all for those that are watching on YouTube. If you're listening as always, thank you for your constant support. And we've got a bit of a Q&A that we're going to dive into. But first, Steve, how are you? Do you want to give us a general update on how things are your end? Do you want to tell us about the cold brew?
I mean, the cold brew tastes good, and this is the second time this week you've blessed me with a sip of cold brew, so thank you very much. Solid 7 out of 10.
I'll take that for a home brew. That's not too bad.
Before we get into the podcast, obviously you get a new coffee set up at home as well, aren't you? We're coffee-like people, so give the world a little short insight to what's going to happen in your new coffee life.
Wow. I am getting a coffee bar in my new house in the dining room. I'm going to set up a coffee bar, so I've been researching the machine I'm going to get. I think I'm going to get the Sage Barista Impress, which seems to be a good solid home machine. It looks pretty. I'm going to get the bougie kettle with the, what do they call it, the long stem stout. Spouty stouty. I'm going to have a little bit of a matcha stand. The idea is to have a couple of nice pictures behind it, and I'm really excited for it, which
I might actually come visit.
Yeah, well, it's a way to get people in. Yeah. I'm setting up a games room in the spare room to try and entice people to Hailsowing. But man, that's exciting. This is cold brew. This is a packed coffee cold brew nice. Made with the Hyrox overnight bottle, which is pretty straightforward and easy to do. That's my coffee life.
Caffeinated drink of the day.
That's decent for 6. That's decent for a 6 o'clock start.
Right, let's get into it.
Thanks for the coffee update. Now let's get into the podcast.
We got loads to get through. We got a couple of questions that we got through Instagram, but we're just going to do a little bit of a quick update on the stuff that's going on in the gym. You have obviously heard that we've got this charity challenge, and we got Zumba on Sunday.
Yeah.
Zumba.
45 people booked on, or
we extended it to 45. We're at 42 this morning, so maybe
is that including you and
me and Colson? Yeah. So maybe we'll get 50. Big push next couple of days. Kitty is ecstatically excited and buzzing for it. I am excited for her as well, because this is like totally her thing.
Yeah. Because I don't think not everyone knows that was her thing before she started in strength conditioning. We've all got a thing. You did a bit of the boxing. I was did a bit of spin. Kit was a Zumba.
Yeah, so, I think she was probably
nice.
Better at Zumba than I was at boxing, and probably better than you were at spin.
Wow. Correct. Correct.
So I'm really excited for her, because I haven't seen her like this, like gushy for something in like a while. I know we've all been so busy at the gym, so it's nice to see her like really like just.
What do you think of the people that have entered? Is there like many people that you didn't think was going to be there, or like is it as expected? I know we had to do a push to get some extra men in, but there's a few now that have entered, and it's just for fun anyway, isn't it? I think some people can get in their head about it, but it is just for fun. Like Mark is known for his snake hips, but I don't know if you're known for your snake hips, do you?
I'm generally better at dancing if I don't have to follow someone in front of me telling me what to do.
Yeah, okay.
Like, and I think that will generally be the case with a lot of the guys that are coming. It's like you might be able to dance to Justin Timberlake in the middle of the dance floor at 2 a.m, but can you follow Kitty going left and right, up and down?
Right, okay.
But the list looks healthy. I'm more excited about it than I probably should be, to be fair. I think it's going to be good fun.
You've enjoyed the socials of the less boozy socials.
Yeah.
You've enjoyed. You love the quiz. You like the Zumba.
Yeah.
Because to be honest, after the Zumba's going to be amazing, and then it kind of there's a bit of an increase then in the intensity.
Yeah,
the Zumba and the quiz are very relaxing and nice. Zumba's still exercise, but it's not.
Yeah.
There's a spike in intensity after this week.
Yeah, for sure. And as you know, like while I do drink, I try not to drink too much, and it's
because you're an athlete.
And I'm shit at drinking.
Wow.
We found that out in the quiz when it was who's the most lightweight.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I think Sunday's going to be amazing, so we're looking forward to that. Just moving through that, you say the intensity goes up. We've got the Birmingham half and the 10k on the 4th of May, and we've got about 8 to 10 members running for us now.
That's
from
good.
Macmillan.
If they all raise £1,000, we're done. We can have the rest of the year off,
and then we don't have to do the 24-hour challenge.
Yeah.
But again, like it's always good when the members step up, right?
Yeah, big time. Like it's a team effort. Like and like we set a big goal, but like to get everyone involved and everyone wanting to get involved and everyone wanting to run for MSC is pretty cool.
Yeah,
so I'm really happy with
so
that.
hopefully they'll raise a couple of quid for us. They've got some t-shirts coming.
The t-shirts are nice, man. Like people are happy about the t-shirts.
Yeah, I think they will go down well, and they can have them after they've raised at least £14 to cover the cost of the t-shirt.
That's big.
Yeah, no, so we're not asking a lot of them. And then the 24-hour challenge, which we will release next week. Do you even know what the 24-hour challenge is?
Yes.
Yeah,
but please tell the members.
Well, there's some still finer details to go. Basically, on Friday, don't get the date wrong, Steve, the 16th of May, the sledge will start moving at 10 o'clock in the morning, and it won't stop moving until 10 o'clock on Saturday morning.
It's sledge non-stop?
Sledge non-stop for 24 hours. We are going to do an 8 a.m. Metcon on the Saturday, with the sledge still moving, but the Metcon was where everyone can turn up, get involved for a little bit so everyone feels included, and then the 9 till 10, the last hour of sledging, will be the hardcore people who have suffered all night just to get it over the finish line. But we're hoping, or what will happen is that we're going to offer out hours for people to come and kind of take part. So you can either like put like a team of 4 of you forward to do the sledge for an hour, or you can just come and give the staff a bit of respite for 20 minutes, half hour. That through the night shift's going to be...
It's tough, man. We've done it in the past, and it's tough, man. It's a massive challenge, that.
Yeah, me and Mark were talking about it the other day, about how it might just be like me and him from like 12 till 6, like holding each other's hands.
Yeah, I think. Well, I'd like to think other people get involved, but it's tough. It sucks. It's not fun. It's a bit monotonous, obviously, doing it for that long. But like, it's a mentally and physical, very tough challenge.
My kind of challenge.
Yeah,
I like that shit.
Well, there you go, mate. That's why you're stepping up.
Yeah. That's why I won't be getting drunk with anyone, but I will push a sledge for
24 hours.
24 hours.
Yeah.
So that's a short update on that. Powerlifter shout-outs. Talk to me.
Yeah. We didn't really do a post about it, but we had a couple of people doing the books, which are the British University Championships. We had Ellie, who I think came third in her weight category, and we had Yush as well, who got a big PB total in the 83 class. So both lifters did excellently. Didn't really mention it too much because I don't think they posted too much about it, but they both did excellently, and represented themselves and the gym really
Nice.
well. So good lifting from them too. Books used to be a bit of a laughing stock and a bit of a joke, but like the level now, because it's university registered and recognised, the level of it now is so high. It's a proper full-on comp. Well, before they needed a few things in place to make it that way, and now it's legit and the standard's super high. So for Ellie to get a bronze is class.
How does it work with weightlifting for the box stuff? Because obviously, like, I understand it from a basketball point of view, where it's just like you're kind of a bit regionalised, and then you kind of go into a playoff situation. Is it just one day powerlifting? Anyone can turn up, sort of thing. Like,
so it's encouraged. Like, you don't have to be. I don't think you have to be. You have to be a university student, but you don't have to be in a. Like, you don't have to be at University of Birmingham Powerlifting Club. You can just be a person who is at university and then powerlifts. But like the overall team points is to who gets the most points for each university. Which university is not going to be like head and shoulders above everyone.
But there's no like funneling from like, it's not like you have like North universities, South universities, and then it's all like.
No. It's so at the regional level there was like a West Midlands one, which was just universities. But it is just like all the country, all of the universities against each other, but you can represent your own university, or you can kind of just lift yourself if you haven't got a club. Obviously you can individually place, but then it wants to be the university that places the highest, because how it used to be was I can't remember exactly how it worked, but let's say like we're University of Birmingham and we get a good amount of points, we qualify the whole team to then go to Worlds. So in that team you'd be probably like the top 7 women or top 7 men, and actually then like some of the people in that team would be more worthy of going than others, and other people miss out because maybe their university isn't quite as strong. So I think they've changed it now to being like the top 3 get a chance to go to Worlds, or the top whatever amount get a chance to represent their university at the World Championships, the World University Championships, which is pretty cool.
How do we fare in the world generally?
We're good, man. Like I think the American ones are big, but I think because it's such a good scene of it in England, I think the bulk of the numbers, when I look at the results, England has a lot of universities that are there.
Okay.
I think Europeans as well do really good. I think it's bigger in England than it is in other countries at the minute, and I think it will get bigger across the board.
Okay.
But yeah, we do alright.
Good. Yeah, man. Cool. Anything else to fill in shout outs? You got anything else?
No, I think we're good. Mate, shout out to the Barbell Club. We gave them a good shout, but it's been so fun this on Wednesday watching everyone max out their snatches and deadlifts. So, they're not Olympic lifters, and sometimes people will be like, "Oh, why are you doing more about maxing?" But having something that these guys are working towards, and they get free chance. It's 3 times a year we do 16-week blocks. They get 3 chances a year to max out and kind of gauge their progress. And people really buy into it, man. Some people might be like, "Why are you doing more about max testing with them?" But we believe that it gives people motivation, accountability. It gives them direct results of how they got better. And some people might argue a 4 rep max or 5 rep max might be better, but there's just something about going for your 1 rep max.
Yeah.
It's in a safe environment. You've got spotters, you've got people pushing you. It's cool to watch people pushing themselves, and some people are built for it, and other people are very much out their comfort zone.
Yeah.
But just the gratification when they get these big numbers.
I really, because I don't coach a lot of the barbell stuff due to the way that my schedule works, but it's really good to see, especially with the Olympic lifting stuff, because I think it's a harder commitment, isn't it, to really throw some weight around with the cleans and the snatches.
Yeah.
And then, like you say, people were throwing out some decent numbers.
Yeah, that guy snatched 70, which is a respectable snatch for someone that's not. Because this is the thing, they're not Olympic lifters, and I think sometimes, even in the class, I cut someone, I think I'm jumping slightly forward. It's well, you are, but also you do it once a week. You're getting a great stimulus, you're getting great force, which if you're so bothered about keeping this perfect, you miss out on actually lifting some good weights.
Yeah.
So we want them to be technically proficient, but these minutiae details just don't matter too much if you're not an Olympic lifter.
No.
It's really cool to see people pushing it. So.
Yeah. It's good to see.
Got some good numbers, man. Some people doing some really good solid deadlifts, some really good snatches. So yeah, it's been really cool. So shout out to them.
Good.
We've also been doing the metrics. You've been working some of those. We can dive into that.
I was gonna say it's a really good kind of direction to go in. I think. Yeah. Can't wait for the barbell guys to start filling the board in for us whenever that kind of starts to fill out.
Good luck.
Yeah, I know, right. But yeah, Metcon metrics, we put them out at the start of the year, didn't we? And we were kind of committed to trying to get the members to track some level of results without any kind of level of stress as well. If you want to, you can. If you don't, cool.
Because some people just like exercising and turning up, and other people actually want to there's a couple of people how do I know if I've got better?
Yeah,
it's this is the way. The test is cross multiple different things. You can test if you're getting fitter or not.
Yes, yeah, and it was interesting this morning because we did 3 rep max log press in the strongman.
Nice.
And I introduced Girdish to the 0.25 plates.
The fractions.
Yeah, the baby fractionals, and then
the polos I call them.
Yeah,
it's you sucked a polo for 10 minutes.
Exactly. But that enabled her to take her log press up by 1 kilo.
Nice.
And that doesn't seem like a lot to some people, but let's say a 50 kilo lifter going from 37.5 to 38.5 on a.
It's 3%.
I love it when you do that shit.
I know.
Ugh, I don't even know if you're right. You in numbers is Rain Man.
Autism intensified. No, but we said last week on the podcast about the RPE, and 1 RPE is 4%.
Yeah.
So if you go from 32 to 33, you've gone up almost 1 RPE.
Yeah.
And it sounds like you only added a kilo. You could go from a 9 to a 10 RPE or an 8 to a 9.
Yeah.
It makes a massive difference.
Yeah.
These small percentages really add up.
Yes. Yeah. So we had some good results on the log press today. The classes were a bit quiet with it being half-term week, but also the sledge push on Wednesday went down really well.
So I because some of these tests you've got people know what a good time is. So for example, the rower, the 2K rower, everyone knows that 8 minutes and below is good. Not good, but it's just sure.
Yeah,
but when you're doing under 8, doing under 8, you're okay, that's really solid.
Yeah.
When it's 7 minutes, that's excellent.
Yeah.
So we all know these kind of standards, but the sledge push one is kind of it's not an internationally known fitness test. It's just one that we wanted to do. So it's really interesting to see the data come down, and I think the highest was 95.
Yeah, big Matt.
Yeah,
Spenny.
Which is good, man, because he's a big boy, so it's heavy weight on the sledge. But yeah, I was wondering, do you think anyone could get 100? Because 100's tough, man. 95 is so close without doing it. Do you reckon if he had another stab now he knows how to pace it, could he get 100? Is that a challenge that we can put out?
For sure, I think because he was probably, I rounded down on his just because he was probably 96.5. He didn't quite he'd gone past the 95 metre mark.
Oh, okay, because he didn't quite make it.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's got 3.5 meters
to go. And he reckons he could do that now, especially by the end of pre-season. I always think with a lot of these things, the sledge, the row, is it's will and desire, isn't it? It's how much do you want to get a good time.
I think when you got a target like that and you know what you can beat, compared to just doing it blind, is completely different as well. When you got a target to beat, now could he do it?
Yeah, and I also think as well, however you set the track up as well, because obviously in a Metcon when you've got multiple stations, so we were going 2/3 of the track and back rather than full length. So if you've got if you don't have to turn around as much,
Save a few seconds.
You save a few seconds. What do you think? What do you think you would get? Because you're super strong, and now you're an athlete because you run and you're conditioned.
I'd like to think I could do 100. But that's purely on Matt getting 95. I don't know.
Right.
I've literally no idea. I don't know. We have to do it.
Yeah. I think the staff have kind of not avoided them, but we've been so busy that we haven't really looked at.
I'd like to do a few of them now, just to kind of see how we get on. I might have a dabble this weekend.
Dip your toe in.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, I think 100 meters. I think I never like to split it straight down the line as girls and boys. I think some of the girls were at 65, 70. If you could get to 80 meters, that's a solid shift.
Yeah. Did anyone get 80 at the women?
I think there was a couple of 80s.
That's big.
Yeah. So we'll see what comes in the next block. But they're all doing really well. I think the buy-in as well is quite high at the moment as well, which is nice. So if we can keep on at them, hopefully we'll get some 100 meters and some.
It'd be like the 4-minute mile when someone's done the 100. That'll be it. Then everyone knows that they can do it, and everyone will start getting 100.
Yeah, then it'd be who's going to get 105?
Yeah.
Ooh,
it's big.
Cool. So moving into
the last minute Q&A.
The last minute Q&A, because sometimes we're a bit kind of late to the party with organisation, aren't we? But Instagram always comes through for us. I've got some really strong feelings on the first one. I'd be interested to hear yours. How do you get a solid training balance for fitness competitions like Hyrox or Athex? Go.
Well, you've got strong opinions, Steve. You want to... For me...
Okay, I mean, once I start, it'll be a 50-minute podcast, so you go first.
Okay, cool. So my... Hyrox isn't a strength event, so Hyrox and Athex is a little bit different. Hyrox, the strength demands aren't that high, but I think a lot of people are limited by their actual strength. I think that if they could be a little bit stronger, they'd probably get slightly better splits on the rower, on the ski erg. The lunges might be a little bit easier. I think the farmers is so light that it's not a strength thing. But ultimately, it's an endurance-based event. It's a long, it's over an hour, so it's a very high endurance-based event. So I think that when you are doing your strength training, I think you need to be doing some strength training to get, better. Because I see people on the ski that are incredibly fit, but their times are quite low because
it's slow.
Yeah. So if they could get a little bit stronger, would it help? I think it would do. I also think it helps with just overall balance, maybe helping with the little bit of injury prevention, perhaps by just being strong and resilient. But I do think your priority of your work is always going to be more of your endurance-based stuff. So I think that your strength, you should be going for real high quality, lower quantity. So I'm talking, if it was me programming someone for Hyrox, it would be almost not the minimum dose, but I would be going for low set counts, real high intent and force production to keep the fatigue down, to make sure that they're getting a massive return on their efforts. Because I think when you're doing sets, it's diminished return. So if you did 2 sets of 5 on a back squat rather than doing 4 sets of 5, you get a good amount of that return from those 2 sets without the extra fatigue of doing those 4 sets of 5. So I would be going low set count, real intent, good return on your time. I'd be doing probably 2 strength sessions a week, and then the rest of it would be heavily focused on your conditioning, with the conditioning being the priority, because it doesn't particularly matter what numbers you're lifting, you just want to get that intent and you want to get that stimulus. It doesn't matter if you're progressing them up every week like a powerlifter, but you want to have the intent behind your strength sessions to make sure that the force production is there, so you're getting out of it what you need to.
Yeah, I agree. I always agree with you when it comes to programming. I think it's interesting for me because I think in the last year, a lot of my online clients have been more focused towards Hyrox and fitness stuff, away from the basketball clientele that I've had for a long time. And I saw something the other day, and it was Hyrox coaches having cookie cutter programs, and it just doesn't work in Hyrox because there's so many holes and there's so many things to focus on. And when you look at the amount of miles that some of these guys are putting in their legs, I've got guys running 25-30k a week and trying to do strength stuff and trying to do semi-sims here and there, and and I think like the balance is so difficult. And I think the one thing that I've also found is that like the level of the relationship with the client goes up because the training load is so high. Like I think like Gen Pop, obviously like you write a program, they go away, you check in with them like once or twice, like within a month of a block or whatever. But these guys, like the communication is just like open comms now, because it's like, oh, I did this, I did that, I did the other. And I agree with you, like trying to justify to people like just 2 sets, 3 sets, get in, get out, get it done. But also picking the holes in the individuals, like so they get the most out of the exercises they need it out of, but then also like making sure that they're ticking the boxes elsewhere, but also like, well, you're okay at this, so we can kind of.
Well, this is it. I mean, if you look at someone like, I know you coach Will, he was a powerlifter, and I look at someone like Ivan.
Yeah.
You're not going to get any benefit from getting any stronger than they're already more than strong enough now for Hyrox. They don't need to be doing. So for them, they actually don't need to be doing that much. I imagine
they are fully just contrast training. So it's doing the heavy stuff with the sprint work or the running work.
While someone else might be like, okay, and that's what you say, it's the individual, and the cookie cutter doesn't work. It's like, okay, so for you've got no strength background, you're from an endurance-based background, and you're getting onto the ski and you're really struggling. The wall balls are battering your legs. The lunges are really tough for you. So for them, getting a little bit stronger in the legs, getting a little bit stronger with their pulls is going to really help. It's just down to what the individual weaknesses are. And that's part of the art of coaching is, what does this person need to work on? What are their strengths? What are the weaknesses? Where's the biggest return on their effort?
I think that's the thing. Like, and I think that's the one thing that I think MSC in itself is just good at. Like, from a coaching point, we take the individual for what they are, and we're able to dissect that. I think like.
I was going to say one more thing on that. It's like when you said about something having to give. I remember when I first switched into a bit more of like well-rounded S&C, and I was doing a run once or twice a week, and I'm doing like 3 cardio sessions, and I'm doing 3 strength sessions now, pretty much. When I'm trying to lift as much as I was trying to lift when I was powerlifting, fuck me, it's hard. Like my lower back was getting beat up. I was struggling on, and something has to give. And when I was pushing the weights, not as hard as when I was powerlifting, but still really hard, the conditioning was taking a hit. And actually, for myself, I'm plenty strong for fitness competitions. But like, if I'm pushing the weights and the cardio then takes a hit, I'm not getting enough good quality conditioning work that takes a hit, rather than it should be the other way around, where I'm almost trying to do the minimum dose on the strength. So like, I'm following a program now that I reduce the set count down because I don't need it, and then I can push the conditioning as hard as I want to without getting held back by being beat up and fatigued from the strength training.
Exactly the same for me with basketball. Like, what's 8 weeks away from going to Switzerland, it's about getting in, getting out, getting the lifting done. Usually on the days that I play basketball now, so it's like.
And I think you do yourself a disservice when you say that. When you say get in, because when you're in, you're not just trying to get it done and tick the box. You are doing it to good quality, but you're not doing monging out 3 hours of bodybuilding sessions and then going to try and play basketball and your legs are fucked. You're trying to do lower set count, power work with intent to then set yourself up to have successful basketball sessions. So, there you go. Don't play it down.
Okay, so next, how do you feel about big fish, small pond? When to step up, whatever the competition? Like, I think it's interesting when I talk to like some clients and members about like competitional stuff, and then pitching themselves into a competition, because it's like, this is a competition what I want to do because I think I can win this level. But would you personally, and how would you manage a client who's like, I would rather be top of the pile in a smaller pool rather than step outside the comfort zone and go up a level to see and maybe come like middle of the pack?
It's really interesting, actually. One of the coaches who I really like, Peach, posted about this today. I didn't watch the full video that he was responding to, but he was talking from a powerlifting perspective. He said the first time he went to this specific powerlifting gym down south that's like really renowned for creating world level champions, and he watched a guy, and he said he was two weight classes below, squatting 60 kilos more than him for like multiple sets, and it like blew his mind. I think when you're the small fish in a big pond and you see what is actually physically possible, and you've got something to chase, versus being at the top and kind of being the best and not having to push, is a completely different scenario. If you're trying to be the pro in the pro affix or the pro Hyrox and you're getting trashed, you've got no option but to get better, or you're going to die, and you're going to have to drop down the level. If you're coasting because you're the best I don't know, like if you're a powerlifter and you're winning the development comps or you're winning
Yep.
the regional comps and you just keep doing regional, you never push to that national level, you're going to be held back probably by who's around you and what they're currently doing. So I personally, there's a time and a place, isn't it? Because on the flip, it's like if you're trying to push to the, let's say the Hyrox Pro, and all of a sudden the time you haven't got the time for it. You haven't got the time to put the extra training in. The guys in the pro category do. Yeah. Maybe you've reached your limit, but I do think there's something about pushing yourself out of your comfort zone and trying to reach that next level, and actually surprising yourself when you can see what is possible around you and how much you can push yourself when other people are doing that, and how you'll rise to that versus the other.
Yeah,
mate, I ran with Max on Saturday, and he's faster than me.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, my splits were 15 seconds better.
Quicker.
I was doing 4:45s or 4:30s instead of... I was aiming for 4:30 to 4:45s.
Right.
And I was running 4:20 every single 3-minute block.
Yeah.
And if I was by myself, it'd be way slower. But because Max is there pushing me, I ran a little bit faster.
Yeah.
And just having those people around you, I think, makes you realise what you can do.
You are a reflection of the people you spend your time with, right?
Big time.
We have this conversation at basketball. Like, I go to a particular session, and there's a particular couple of people there who I've never seen in any other basketball gym, and they're pretty decent basketball players at this one particular place. But I'm like,
get found out if they
I'm like, come somewhere else, man. Like, I'll pick you up, and they're like, oh no, I'm good here, and they'd rather play 2-3 times a week where they like to play, rather than take them somewhere where they don't know anyone, and then like I say, get found out, or just be like, oh my gosh, there's people better than me. Because like, you're the best person in this gym, debatably, but. I'm all for it. Like, we used to go to there used to be a basketball session back in the old days when I was young. So
back in yesteryear,
in the 90s, at a college in Broadway in Perry Bar, and it was basically you would turn up, you would pay your money, you weren't guaranteed to get on the court, you had to be picked, and for the first 6 weeks I went and paid like my £3 and stood there and no one picked me. And then as soon as you get on court, it's either like you either prove yourself or like
this is your one chance.
Like, and then you're like, oh, you can play, like you can come back, but like there'd be people stood there for weeks on end, or they'd just get eaten up and you'd never see them again. Like, and I think that's how like you say you've got to do that to find out whether you've got it or not, or at least if you go back, you can be like, well, I need to figure this out.
Yeah, but like when you look at like let's say the Hyrox Pro compared to the like, what is the main difference? Is it like the times that people are getting? Is the events the same? What's the main differences?
I mean, the main difference between Pro and Open is just the weight of everything.
Okay.
So it's just the accumulative
farmers,
fatigue.
the
cumulative fatigue.
But the skiing is still the same.
Yeah, skiing the row is fine. All the distances are the same, but the sledge weight goes up. Yeah. The farmers carries heavier. The lunges are heavier. So it is just that accumulation of muscular fatigue really over the period of the...
Are people in the Pro getting faster times than in the Open, or even with the heavier implements?
Yeah, so, and interestingly, like a weird, if not change, is that, so they changed the carpet that they push and pull the sledge on now. So, and generally the feedback is that this carpet's quicker. So I reckon like all the records are going to go now. But I also find it quite interesting, because I don't know if you know this, each Hyrox track is not the same distance.
You said this, yeah.
Like, so they have like a pit lane in essence, like the rock zone, which is not universally the same, and all the tracks are all different. So while the run is the same distance and all the exercises are the same, the pit lane is different, which I find like mad. Like from a competition that's so big now, and to be fair, like brings me a lot of clients. I can't fathom how Hyrox haven't just kind of gone, the pit lane needs to be 400 metres no longer. So at least if you go from Rimini to Birmingham, you're universally the same distance, while the track might be a different shape. Like, at least you're covering the same amount of distance.
So what, the 1K run is different?
So like, it just might be like, while it is universally like a lap, like it might not be like an oval. So it could be not a square, but do you know what I mean? Like the track changes, the track map changes.
Okay. And that's just depending on what the venue is. Depending on what the venue is set up like.
Yeah, so I find that quite interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyway.
So yeah, what about you? The small fish, big pond.
Yeah, I'm totally like, step outside your comfort zone. Go be sick on yourself. Go be nervous. I remember the first time I went to GB training, like for the over 40s, and I drove to Nottingham wanting to vomit in my car because I was like, I don't know if I'm any good at this. Like, and here we are now, 4 years in. Like, this is fine. But
it's funny. I don't know if it's cheesy, but about probably when I started working at MSC, I bought this thing from in Wales, and it's still in my bathroom now. It's like a fish, and and inside the fish is a little fish, and it says swim with the big fish. And that was because I was like, yeah, man, I look at it every time when I'm in the bathroom. I'm like, yeah, man, that's what I want to do. I want to be pushing myself to be, up there as one of the best coaches. I want to be trying to push to do this, and I don't want to just be like, oh, I'm the powerlifting coach to be at Ballantyne's. I want to be in the country.
Yeah.
And I look at it every day, and it's like my little thing.
That's good.
It's pretty cheesy, but
no, it's good though, isn't it? Because I think it makes you raise your levels, and I think, when you talk about MSC, like, obviously I was at a different gym before COVID came here, and one of my greatest concerns when I contacted you guys about working here was that I was like the big fisher kind of.
You were the go-to guy for S&C over there.
at the other place, and then I came over here and I was like, fucking shit compared to you guys. Like, but now it's like, oh, this is amazing. Like, and I've learned loads, but that's what you have to do, right? Like, being around better coaches.
What would you want? Yeah, absolutely.
But big fish. Like, jump in with the sharks, man. Like, see what happens. Get eaten and come back.
Out.
Yeah. Anything else that you want to throw in today?
No, I think that's nice. A nice little coverage of a couple of things, more fitnessy stuff. I think I'm pretty happy there. Are you?
I'm ecstatic. It's Friday.
Fantastic. Cool. All right. We'll see you all at Zumba, and by all of us, I mean Steve will see you at Zumba.
In my hot pants.
I've heard hot pants and
leg warmers.
Sexy, very sexy. If you're not coming to give to charity, come watch Steve in his hot pants. Thank you guys for listening, and we will catch you on the next one.
See you later.
Hello guys.